Hi, everybody. Today I will be discussing my proposed project focused on reducing necrotizing enterocolitis or NEC among preterm infants in the NICU. For this project, I will be focusing on Cook Children's Medical Center in Fort Worth. Our patient population includes infants who are at highest risk due to prematurity and immature gastrointestinal function. The problem we are addressing is the high mortality, morbidity, and financial cost associated with NIC. To improve outcomes, the planned intervention is the implementation of an evidence-based feeding protocol that standardizes feed initiation and advancement, promotes exclusive human milk feeding, and improves early identification of feeding intolerance. NEC is one of the most devastating gastrointestinal emergencies in premature infants. It progresses rapidly, often requiring surgery, and remains a leading cause of death and very low birth weight in very low birth weight population. Beyond clinical impact, NEC contributes to prolonged length of stay, higher hospitalization costs, and long-term complications. Research consistently show that standardized enteral feeding and human milk-based strategies significantly reduce NEC rates. This issue primarily impacts the micro level, meaning the point of care where infants, nurses, and providers interact. NEC prevention relies heavily on bedside nurses' practice, accurate assessment of feeding tolerance, timely identification of symptoms, and consistent adherence to feeding guidelines. So, Cook Children's strengths include high quality pediatric care, strong NICU infrastructure, and specialized expertise. They have weaknesses such as staff burnout and resource constraints. Opportunities include technological advancement and research partnerships. Their threats include rising patient volumes, which emphasize the need for efficient evidence-based practice. Implementing this protocol requires coordination across multiple departments. Potential barriers include staffing shortages, workflow variation, electronic health record limitations, and high census. So, anticipating these challenges early can help minimize workflow disruptions. The change theory guiding this project is Lowen's change theory, which include unfreezing, changing, and refreezing. Unfreezing in this case builds readiness by educating staff. Changing involves implementing the protocol and competency modules, and refreezing involves permanent adoption through positive updates and ongoing evaluations. The outcomes include reducing NEC incidence, improving feeding tolerance, increasing exclusive human milk feeding rates, and shortening NICU length of stay, which in turn directly supports patient safety and quality care. The improvement model used is the Plan, Do, Study, Act model, which supports small tests of change, refinement, and safety in NICU practice. Each NEC case cost the hospital about $27,000. Preventing one or two cases annually leads to substantial cost avoidance, making the project financially impactful even without generating new revenues. The projected return on investment for this project is 20%. Budget needs include staff training, visual aids, lactation resources, and electronic health records updates. Most costs involve personnel time required for implementation. The expected return on investment ranges from 0 to 100% in year one. Preventing even two NEC cases offsets most implementation costs, while significantly improving patient outcome. The strategies include structured staff education, visual aids and NEC kickoff events, competency validation, and multidisciplinary collaboration to support consistent adoption. Communication include staff huddles, dashboards, quality improvement meetings, email updates, and family education. So consistent communication maintains engagement and transparency. Evaluations involve outcome, process, balance, and impact measurements. Data is reviewed monthly to ensure the effectiveness and safety of the feeding protocol. This project introduces a structured, evidence-based feeding protocol designed to reduce NEC through standardized feeding practices, human milk promotion, and early intolerance identification. This intervention is clinically effective, financially responsible, and aligns with organizational priorities. These are my references. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.